Hi guys, welcome to a channel where we discuss all things
career.
well.
Always
Start
freezing.
over.
Always freezing.
Hi guys, welcome to the channel where we discuss all things
Career,
wellness,
and the bag.
The 9 to 5 soft life, not forgetting I'm Goki, the BA/consultant.
I am Valesa, the system application analyst.
And I'm Nana, the software developer.
and I'm Palesa and I'm also a business analyst. Welcome back to the channel guys, and if you're new to the channel, please join our family. Do not forget to subscribe and be part of this great movement of 4 women who are sharing with you some of the experiences. Let me see, who do we start with? Goki, let's start with you. Can you tell us how you started and tell us more about your journey to getting where you are today?
Okay, let me just grab a drink first.
Yeah.
We caught you off guard there.
Yeah. Take a seat.
Okay. So, Koketsu's journey, where did I start? Okay, firstly, I was tired of studying. So I applied for business management at first, which was 2 years. Because I was thinking it's quick
fast.
And then, but obviously, I wanted to challenge myself. So I stepped into the IT industry. So I studied information technology management. And at that time, I felt like it was very male dominated. So I wanted to challenge myself with that. Not only that, but also in terms of, I was intrigued by how a computer works. I wanted to see how the interface kind of plays, how does it play together with the background of the computer, if that makes sense. And then, so I studied that, and then fortunately for me, I entered into a graduate program. So the graduate program, obviously, they kind of introduce you into the working environment or working space. So in the graduate program, I remember there was a session for interviews, and then I think I came in dressed a bit slutty. So I had
Okay.
Oh
Yes, I was
my.
about to say yes. What's the definition of that dress code that you
That's another video, guys. That's another video. But I was just dressed a bit inappropriate. My blouse was a bit see-through, and I had these fancy pants, and my heels were extremely long, and so I remember that the lady who was grooming me back then said to me, "No, you need to go home and you need to dress up properly in a proper way." After that, I remember going to the graduate program. I went to an interview, and a couple of weeks later, basically, I found myself in the consulting industry, studying a CRM, and here I am today. So
That's nice.
who's next?
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay, for my side, I initially did science, so I wanted to do something in the science space, medical space, basically. But then but after matric, I did networking, surprisingly. But I didn't enjoy it. I felt like it wasn't challenging. I'm not saying it's not, but it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
So I then decided, no, actually, under the influence of my cousin, then I did software development.
Nice.
So in terms of work, I think I don't remember applying for the job. So, but when the first 2 seasons ended, I think when I came back from home, I spent probably a month not working. So then I got a call from this lady. She was like, "There's a post. This is what's gonna happen." And then I was like, "No, I'm interested." So I got a job. I didn't wait that long to get the job. So yeah.
I believe God was on your side.
Yeah, I
That is
guess.
true.
Yeah.
That
And
is
the fact
true.
that you don't remember that you
I
applied
don't.
for
Yeah.
it.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't
But in
remember.
Bahai.
Yeah, back home now.
But it's good
Yeah,
that
it's
you know sometimes things work in your favor even
Sure.
if you don't realize it.
Especially when you hear other people are struggling to get a job immediately after tertiary. That was the bit. it's a
Which is
part of it.
amazing,
Yeah.
right?
Sure.
Yeah, and it's so funny how like their stories.
Yeah.
Not really funny, but I feel like everyone will all go through this situation of starting somewhere before you ended up where you are currently.
Yeah.
Because you started with business management, you started in networking, and funny story, guys. I studied in accounting space.
Hello.
Like
Wow.
imagine.
CA in the
That is
building.
Financial Italian.
I was an aspiring CA back then, but
Yeah.
oh well. I guess accounting wasn't my thing. Then I decided to change degree, like what you did.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so like shifting from accounting, I shifted to
Yeah.
computer science.
Nice.
Found myself in the IT space. So for me, I actually initially liked computers from high school. That was actually my initial dream. But because of people advising you on what to do, you know, when you're so young, you're trying to
Yeah.
venture into a lot of things, but because elders, they're not the best. And
Yeah, you know,
believe
they
they get-
take whatever they tell you.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
So I
true.
took whatever they told me, do accounting. 1 year down the line, I'm like, this is not for me. I don't enjoy. You know, when you drag yourself to go to the classroom, that was
Yeah.
me. Then I'm like, let me change my degree, and fell in love with IT and found myself in the software development space, though I didn't like programming at varsity. Funny.
And I enjoyed it.
No,
But
that's
hear it.
It's so funny, and I actually enjoy it now. So I thought, you know, when you think something's not your calling, but it's actually
It
your
is,
calling.
yeah.
I guess it was something for me, and yeah, that's just about my journey. Yeah.
Tell me about the moment you realized that you actually had love for dev. Because, I mean, you were interested in it, but at what point did you realize that you actually have the love for it? Was it when you were in school learning more about it, or was it when you actually started, like working as a developer?
So that's a good question. Hey, so at varsity, I didn't like it at all. I just did it because it was part of the course. And yeah, of course, first year it wasn't like doing it so well, but I did it to just pass.
Yeah.
Then from second year to third year, I started. I think it's because I could get what it was at that time, because first year I was starting to learn something that I've never seen before in my life, and now I'm getting to know it now. Then when I started applying for jobs and then going through interviews, that's when I realized, but when I answer to those interview questions, I'm answering as a developer.
Oh.
So does that mean that I
Interesting.
actually know development? I love development, you know,
Without you realizing.
without me
Yeah.
realizing it.
But that's just such an aha moment. Like when you are there, it's like, it's a beautiful moment.
Yeah.
Like,
It's-
because I remember one of the job interviews I went to, it was an IT audit internship. Then I got there, they were asking me all these questions about IT, and they didn't really specify like auditing stuff, but IT. I think they were asking more of a business analyst way. But with me, I wasn't answering like a BA or like just an ordinary IT person would answer. I would answer like a developer.
Okay.
And then the guy there, they're like, you know what? I know you're gonna do well in this role, but I don't think you enjoy it. Do you realize that you're answering as a developer? It's like I did IT at school, and from the way you're speaking and the way you're answering all our questions, you sound like you want to be in the development space. And I'm like, okay. That's when I realized that, you know what? Actually, I realized that I didn't get the job then, and I'm like, okay, let's see what happens. And then from there onwards, I just started applying a normal internship, not specifically to say I want to apply for a business analyst, I want to apply for a developer. So I just applied for any IT internship, and when I get there, I'll just find myself. So then I found myself in the development space, started doing it at work, and fell in love.
In love.
Nice.
I know, right?
Nice. I love it. I think it's such the moment when you realize the one thing that you didn't think you probably liked, and the moment when you come, I'd say you come fully into it. And I just feel like it's just such a beautiful moment. My story is a bit similar to yours in the sense that I didn't like development, or rather programming in school. I didn't really like it. But then I'll get to that. Let me just kind of go back to where like my journey started. So I also studied information technology. Initially applied for informatics, but rather they accepted me for IT. I had zero idea of what it was or what lay ahead of me because I had little to no interaction with the computer. Yes, but my brother had mentioned that it'd be a cool job, you'd be consulting, you work out your own time on how you'd work. So he painted this beautiful picture in my head. So I was like, yes,
That's me there.
yeah, you are for me. When initially I think my path was more inclined to engineering, but then I just kind of left that. Then I just kind of moved straight to IT. So, but like fast forward a few years later, I then worked in a financial institution.
After studying, you moved away from IT.
Yes,
you went
I moved
into
away.
finance.
So what had happened was, as I was studying, I worked at the same time.
Okay.
I worked at the same time, so I was working in the financial institution, client facing, and I worked in it for a few years. So basically, my path took quite long because I was actually after school. Then I was permanent at my job, and then after a few years of doing it, then I realized that I had this unfulfilled feeling within me to fulfill my IT destiny or path, if we can call it that. So I got to the point and I just felt like I needed to kind of get into it. And it took about 3 months of thinking about something, and then one day I just woke up, I typed my resignation letter and I handed it to my manager. Yeah, I'm still, each time I think about it, and with no plan, no plan, I didn't have like another job. And I'm not saying guys do this at home, please have
don't.
plans. Have plans. Yeah, for me, I feel like it was the path that I personally needed to take. Some may have taken the one that I took, but don't try this at home. So I took that path. I sent in my resignation letter. Then thereafter, I think I spent about 2 months. And one day I went to an institution to apply for a learnership. It was literally a walking distance from my house. Dropped it off, came back home. I think the same day I got a call. And then a few days later I started. I started with my learnership. So God really paved the way. And then from the learnership, got into a company where I was also exposed to CRM, and started as a consultant and worked so hard to become a BA.
So for me, you mentioned how at varsity you already had a job, but it was in the finance.
Yeah.
So at that time when you completed your degree, you didn't think about that. I need to. That you didn't find the thing to say I want to move away from what I'm currently doing, work as part-time, to move into IT. Like it never crossed your mind then
to leave it completely.
Yes, because you changed your current calling later on to
Later,
your current
yeah.
calling.
Yeah.
But at that time you didn't find.
No, I think I me quite working was more than anything just to firstly earn a living, earn a living for one, but then secondly I just loved how I worked with people, and I was client facing, I was building relationships, I was doing all that, so I loved that.
Yeah.
And I think somehow at the back of my mind I kind of almost knew that this was a stepping stone to prepare me for what's to come ahead. I didn't know what it was like to be a business analyst at the time. All I knew was a theory that I had read, the project that I'd been involved in at school. But it always kind of felt like preparation, even though it was a few years. But it felt like it was preparing me for what's to come ahead. And so at no point did I ever think of forgetting about that part, because I feel like it was something that was truly in me.
Guys, I have one question.
Sure.
Do you think that the first job that you got, or the first experience that you guys got, kind of molded you to the space that you guys are in now?
Yes, I agree. I started off doing promotions, and for me, wrapping up part of my journey, it kind of helped me to learn people's skills. So I could kind of tell, okay, this person is moody or this person is kind of difficult.
Sure.
So that's the space that I work in now, that I work with different types of personalities, and you kind of need to
Sure.
blend in with those personalities.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, that's 100%.
Yeah.
And I agree with Koketo, sorry. I agree with Koketo. It's just understanding the different personalities, and also teaches you a whole lot of patience. Because when you work
It does.
with clients, it teaches you a lot of patience, because as Koketo mentioned, you know, energies might not be
Yeah.
together on that day, so
On that
you need
day.
to really be patient. But what it also taught me is building relationships as
Yeah.
well, because when you are client facing, and you need to build a level of trust with people. So whether you're in the dev space or the BA space, in any space that you're in, the people that you work with, the people that you are surrounded by, even the stakeholders, you need to build a certain trust that I can deliver
This and
That's-
that.
this
Yeah.
and this and that and that. So
Okay.
it does help in, you know, building those relationships and building the trust as well. So for me personally, my experience has kind of, I'd say, molded the
Molded
word that
you,
you use.
okay.
Yes, it has influenced me in this current space
In
that
this
I'm in.
book.
Yeah.
So to conclude what you guys said, right? I actually agree with everything that you've said about molding you into the experience that we have today. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in our video today. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment down below. So in our next video, we will be talking all things CVs, interview,
Yes.
and everything
Mhm.
related to that. So
Yeah.
thank you guys for tuning in. Bye.
Bye.